Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good Monday evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and what a gorgeous early fall day it was across most of north central Washington. In fact, all of north central Washington today. Just a few clouds out there. Temperatures mainly in the upper 50s around our area, but a few scattered lower 60s. And boy, I'll tell you what, I hope you had the chance to get out there and enjoy it today, because our weather will begin to change, and that will happen tonight and into tomorrow. Here's the rest of your week. Widespread rain, that'll be late on Tuesday, I think more into Wednesday and Thursday for us, but it will be windy. We have a wind advisory that will go into effect tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon, or 1 I should say in the morning, and go until 9 o'clock tomorrow, so expect gusts possibly up to 40 miles an hour at times tomorrow. And we'll talk more about that in your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And for those watching on our Facebook, make sure you tune in to Local Tel Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A house fire scorches the inside of a Wenatchee home. We'll profile more candidates in this upcoming election, and Jay Seebeck has a report from the annual Rocky Reach Dam Roundup. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our features story today. But we begin tonight. A Rondo Fire, Ballard Ambulance, and the Washington State Patrol responded to the report of a head-on collision above Daroga State Park on US 97 north of Rondo this morning. On arrival, fire units found a 4-vehicle head-on collision involving 3 passenger vehicles and 1 semi with a trailer. On initial investigation, it appeared one of the passenger vehicles crossed the center line, striking the semi. One patient was trapped in a vehicle requiring extrication. The extrication was made difficult as the front end of the vehicle was destroyed in the accident, leaving no points to pull with the jaws of life. Entrance was finally gained by chaining to the front of a fire engine, then pulling the dash and cowling away from the patient. 3 other victims were treated at the scene, and 2 were transported by ambulance to Central Washington Hospital. No names or status of those hospitalized has been given. The accident remains under investigation. Traffic was also slow today along US 97 Blewett Pass when a semi-truck hauling apples rolled onto its side. According to Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Moore, the accident occurred at milepost 170. Moore says 56,000 pounds of apples spilled to the side of the highway. The accident was reported in the 11 o'clock hour this morning, and traffic was delayed for several hours as crews controlled traffic around the scene. Well, there was no school for students at Peshastin Dryden Elementary School today as a precaution due to E. coli detected in the water by the Water District back on Friday. A boil advisory was issued for water customers on Saturday afternoon, which still remains in place. All Cascade schools remained open. The test found contamination in one of the water sources, and the cause of the contamination is under investigation. Residents are advised to boil water or purchase bottled water for drinking, making ice, brushing teeth, washing dishes, and food preparation until further notice. Chelan County Fire District 1 officials say the cause of an early morning house fire yesterday in Wenatchee is still under investigation. Fire crews made quick work of the fire at 727 South Chelan Avenue around 1:15 a.m. Sunday and kept the fire contained to the 910 square foot residence. But the interior of the home did suffer significant damage. An elderly man who lived in the residence was severely burned and was transported to Central Washington Hospital. Late today, hospital officials are considering moving him to Harborview Medical Center because of the significance of his upper body burns, and he, as I said, could be transported to Harborview a little bit later on. That small house, by the way, was built in 1916, and fire officials say the construction and age of the house were a factor. Well, it's harvest season in north central Washington and Halloween is right around the corner. The Rocky Reach Dam Visitor Center hosted the annual Harvest Roundup yesterday. The event gave visitors the opportunity to embrace the fall season and get some practice for trick-or-treating on Halloween. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck has the story.
Yesterday on a glorious fall afternoon, our local Chelan County PUD hosted the 2017 Fall Harvest Roundup. The roundup was hosted at the Rocky Reach Dam Visitor Center and was a free family event. With hay rides, candy, and even dog sledding, the roundup had something for every family member to enjoy. Over 1,600 eager visitors showed up in their favorite Halloween attire. The live music combined with free candy and games got the kids dancing and energized, ready to enjoy all the fun activities the festival had to offer. Be sure to check out in the Visit Rocky Reach Facebook page to see future updates at the Rocky Reach Dam. Jay Seebeck, NCW Life News.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the apple blossom auction, and the city of Wenatchee locks in funding from the state to extend McKittrick Street. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Welcome back. The 22nd annual Apple Blossom Auction is slated for this Saturday with a theme for attendees at the fundraiser. Darcy Christofferson, administrator for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz to talk more about the social event.
This is our 22nd auction. I can't believe we're saying that, but we've been doing this auction for 22 years. And it's a big fundraiser for us. We use the dollars, we say for after the festival, and that is to build our float, take the royalty to the out-of-town festivals, the scholarships for the royalty, you know, whatever it is that's after the festival, that's what these dollars go to. So it's October 21st, tickets are $50 each, or you can buy a table of 10 for $500. We have over 300 people in attendance right now. We, of course, are looking for more people. If you'd like to come, just give us a call at the festival office at 662-3616, or you can just go to appleblossom.org and download the invitation.
The best thing to do is get together with 9 of your friends, get a table
really
of 10. You're going to
is.
save yourself a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can sit with all of your friends and enjoy an adult beverage or two,
Yeah.
and some food. And what's the theme?
The theme this year is Round Up Your Posse. Andy Kottkamp is our Director General this year, and he's from Pendleton, Oregon, so he loves the Pendleton
The Pendleton
rodeo.
Roundup is huge.
Yeah, huge, huge, huge. So we kind of try to tailor our auction theme around the Director General. So he is a Western guy, so that's our theme for this year.
The city of Wenatchee will soon receive over $950,000 from the State Department of Commerce to extend McKittrick Street toward Holly Street. The project looked to be doomed earlier this year when the state legislature failed to pass a capital budget. But when the Community Economic Revitalization Board withdrew a request for funds earlier this month, the money became available to the city of Wenatchee for the North End project. The money will be used to acquire the right-of-way needed to extend McKittrick and will pay for the demolition of an old Stamilt growers building. City officials say the funding should arrive over the next 30 to 60 days. Excuse me. Last Friday, we profiled the 2 candidates running for Eniat City Council Position 2. Tonight, we highlight the 2 men running for Eniat City Council Position 1, Robert Anderson and Norman Stenberg. Robert Anderson is 76 years old and was appointed to the City Council in 2015. He is a retired Boeing employee and has been an NEWS Chamber of Commerce board member for 7 years. Like both Position 2 candidates, Anderson believes the most pressing issue facing NEWS voters is the waterfront development and marina. He says continuing growth in real estate development is also very important. Norman Stenberg is 55 years old and is the owner of Storman Towing and Transport. He was the former police chief of the Rock Island Police Department, was past president of the NEWS Chamber of Commerce, and was also a member of the NEWS Planning Commission. Stenberg says the waterfront district is by far the most important issue in NEWS and that he expects a large amount of growth to come from the project, which will lead to a well-established economic development for the city. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Romaine Electric in Wenatchee is your one-stop repair shop for all your auto, marine, small engine, or heavy-duty truck electric motor needs. Does your battery need to be replaced? Their technicians will have you up and running. The diagnostic team at Romaine Electric identifies and repairs all electrical issues from farm, truck, marine, industrial, diesel, ATV, and PWC. Romaine Electric in the Industrial Park off Ferry Street and Wenatchee Avenue. Stop by or give them a call today at 663-8150. And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life Channel.
And a happy Monday on the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard from Friday. First of all, it was Eastmont celebrating senior night with some big plays by seniors Cameron Scaramazino and Devin Schneider in a 21-7 win over visiting Eisenhower. Grant Olson and Jay Seebeck had the call here on the NCW Life Channel.
Lopez still in the backfield. This time the give is to Scaramazino. Cuts it back up center of the field. Now he's on the outside. He's got room. Look out. 40-yard line. 35. 30. Still on his feet. He's going to go. 10-5. Touchdown Wildcats.
Incredible.
Fake handoff, play action.
Wide
Down
open.
the field, it's Snyder. Great pass by Massey. The 20 and inside the 20 down to the Eisenhower 18-yard line. Here's Cornagain shotgun. Fake handoff. It's play action. Left side. Receiver double coverage. And is it picked off? It is by Jessup at the 3-yard line. Lopez and Snyder in the backfield. Here's Snyder, and he's got a big hole. He can take it. 30-yard line, 25. He's going to take it. 10. Touchdown, Wildcats. Devin Snyder.
Also on Friday night, it was Wenatchee downing Davis on the road 41-6. Austin Blakeney threw 4 touchdowns at the game. Cashmere won the Battle of the Parable over Cascade 29-6. It was Omak beating up on Chelan 41-10. Odessa no trouble with any at Waterville Mansfield. A win on homecoming night 14-12 over Liberty Bell. On the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard from Saturday in soccer, it was Wenatchee falling to West Valley on a goal in the 69th minute. That broke the Panthers' 10-game winning streak, 1-0 the final. Volleyball had Wenatchee finishing third at its own invitational tournament at Wenatchee High School Saturday. Cascade, meanwhile, blanked Cashmere 3-0. The Wenatchee Wild split a pair of games in BCHL play over the weekend. On Friday, Wenatchee got 3 third-period goals by Chad Suzuki, August Von Ungern, and Jesper Weatherby to win at West Kelowna 4-2. Saturday, the Wild were back home hosting Merritt. Arch Ecker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Network.
Ripped back over on the near side for Borjas. Give and go. Shot, score. Your center was intended for Zek. He's going to bounce over to Cholatic. Shot, save, made, rebound. Loose in front. Von Ungern, Sternberg, save, rebound. Score! Sam Norton. Okay. He moves it down low. Back up top for Wicks. He's in. He shoots and he scores. Back down low to the corner it goes. Centering feed. Wicks has it. Stick handles up top to the point. Buckley scores. Finish it off. Back to the left point. Shot there. Tip in front. Score! Jasper Weatherby. And it's going to be pressed there, and we're going to run out of time. As the Merritt Centennials pick up the victory. The Wild threw everything at them down the stretch. But the 2 power play goals in the first period, and then the bomb from Buckley in the second. And that was all she wrote.
Well, the Wild will travel to Salmon Arm tomorrow night for a game at 7 o'clock. It's not even Halloween, and it was a frightful weekend in college football for Washington's 2 big teams. First, Washington State quarterback Luke Falk was sacked 9 times, threw 5 interceptions, and a 37-3 spanking at the hands of Cal on Friday. The Cougars turned the ball over 7 times in a very forgetful game. Then on Saturday, Washington had a dreadful game, and Arizona State losing to the Sun Devils by a score of 13-7. On a good note, Central Washington and Eastern Washington both pulled off victories. Seahawks had a bye over the weekend, so at least they didn't lose. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCW Life Channel. We have lots coming up this week, and starting with soccer live tomorrow night. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And now on to our features story tonight. A man who survived a suicide attempt at the Golden Gate Bridge shares his story to spread suicide prevention awareness.
We have lost far too many lives traveling the path to this day. Since 1937, over 2,000 people have died at the Golden Gate Bridge. I feel lucky to be alive every single day. Of the thousands that have died off the Golden Gate Bridge, I am of the 1% who have survived. So I was born on drugs and premature, and then I bounced around from home to home. Nobody wanted to keep me because I was sick, and I got lucky. I landed in the home of Patrick and Deborah Hines. I had a great childhood. I thought growing up that everything's gonna be great. And then at 17, it all came crashing down. If you can imagine feeling that everyone around you is out to get you, trying to hurt you, and trying to kill you, and you believe that to be the truth. From the extreme paranoia, I exhibited symptoms of mania. From the mania came the hallucinations, both auditory and visual. And so with that and the bipolar disorder, I just was spiraling out of control. I vividly remember writing my suicide note. People don't get it. Like, I thought I was a burden to everyone who loved me, because that's what my brain told me, because that's how powerful your brain is. I got off the bus. I walked slowly down the walkway of the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, people rode by me, drove by me, walked by me. And a woman approached me, and she said, "Will you take my picture?" She said thanks, and she walked away. It was that moment I just said, nobody cares. The reality was that everybody cared. I just couldn't see it. I ran forward, and using my 2 hands, I catapulted myself into free fall. What I'm about to say is the exact same thing that 19 Golden Gate Bridge jump survivors have also said. The millisecond my hands left the rail, it was an instant regret. And I remember thinking, no one's gonna know that I didn't want to die. In 4 seconds I fell 75 miles an hour, 25 stories, and I hit the water. I was in the most physical pain I had ever experienced, I have ever experienced. The Coast Guard was amazing. He was just so freaked out that I was alive that he just dove in and brought me on board. The guy said, "Do you know how many people we pull out of this water that are already dead?" And I said, "No, and I don't want to know." The guy put his hand on my forehead, said, "Kid, you're a miracle." My father took 1 step into the hospital room, and I looked up at him and I said, "Dad, I'm sorry." And he said, "No, Kevin, I'm sorry." And if you think about it, both of our immediate reactions were guilt. Guilt that didn't belong to either of us. And even though I didn't die, I caused people a great deal of grief and pain. Just the day of my attempt still sits within them today. I asked my father if he still feared my death by suicide. He said every time the phone goes off, his first inclination is Kevin alive. I had that impact on my dad. So after the jump, the road to recovery was pretty long. I had 7 psych ward stays in the next 11 years. I still have all the symptoms I ever had. Mania, depression, psychosis, hallucinations, all that's still there. I just know how to cope with it and I know how to beat it. I built a support network over these years of treatment so that I wouldn't be fighting this alone. So like, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay not to ask for someone to back you up. To the families who live with the loss or losses of loved ones, they didn't do that to hurt you or destroy your life. They took their lives because they were struggling and in a great deal of emotional and mental pain. Suicide, mental illness, and addiction are the only diseases that we blame the person for perpetually. But people die from suicide just like they die from any other organ diseased. Today, no matter the pain I'm in, no matter the struggles I experience, I do believe that life is the greatest gift we've ever been given. And if you're suffering mentally, don't wait like I did, sitting in denial for so long. Because recovery happens. I'm living proof.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
And now a recap of some of our top stories. Orondo Fire, Ballard Ambulance, and the Washington State Patrol responded to the report of a head-on collision above Daroga State Park on US 97 north of Orondo this morning. On arrival, fire units found a 4-vehicle head-on collision involving 3 passenger vehicles and 1 semi with a trailer. On initial investigation, it appeared one of the passenger vehicles crossed the center line, striking the semi. One patient was trapped in a vehicle requiring extrication. The extrication was made difficult as the front end of the vehicle was destroyed in the accident, leaving no points to pull with the jaws of life. Entrance was gained by chaining to the front of a fire engine, then pulling the dash and cowling away from the patient. 3 patients were treated at the scene and 2 were transported by ambulance to Central Washington Hospital. No names or status of those hospitalized has been given. The accident remains under investigation. Traffic was slow today along US 97 Blewett Pass when a semi-truck hauling apples rolled onto its side. According to Washington State Patrol Trooper Brian Moore, the accident occurred at milepost 170. Moore says 56,000 pounds of apples spilled to the side of the highway. The accident was reported in the 11 o'clock hour this morning, and traffic was delayed for several hours as crews controlled traffic around the scene there. Well, there was no school for students at Peshastin-Dryden Elementary School today as a precaution due to E. coli detected in the water by the Water District on Friday. A boil advisory was issued for water customers on Saturday afternoon, which still remains in place. All Cascade schools remained open. The test found contamination in one of the water sources, and the cause of that contamination is under investigation. Residents are advised to boil water or purchase bottled water for drinking, making ice, brushing teeth, washing dishes, and food preparation until further notice. Chelan County Fire District 1 officials say the cause of an early morning house fire yesterday in Wenatchee is still under investigation. Fire crews made quick work of the fire at 727 South Chelan Avenue around 1:15 a.m. Sunday and kept the fire confined to the 910 square foot residence. But the interior of the home did suffer significant damage. An elderly man who lived in the residence was severely burned and was transported to Central Washington Hospital. Hospital officials are considering moving him to Harborview Medical Center because of the significance of his upper body burns. And we will let you know tomorrow if in fact he was transported to Harborview. The small home, by the way, was built in 1916, and fire officials say the construction and age of the house were a factor. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington, and quick look outside our weather window first. And what a beautiful day today with sunshine, light winds, and temperatures right around 60 degrees. But we can expect mostly dry conditions today as high pressure tries to hold on in our area. A large trough of low pressure and associated cold front are flattening out the ridge and will begin to move our way tonight and into tomorrow. With the arrival of the storm system, we can expect a wetter and much windier weather pattern Tuesday through Thursday. We do have a wind advisory in place tomorrow from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. where we could see 20 to 30 mile per hour winds with gusts to 45 miles per hour. Another cold front late in the week will cool the region down again to more seasonal temperatures and will usher in the return of valley rain showers and mountain snow. Here's a look at that forecast now, and once again, cool one, but not as cool tonight as we've seen. 43 our overnight low tonight. Lots of wind tomorrow with a high temperature of around 60 degrees. 60 as well on Wednesday when we will start to see some rain shower activity, about a 40 to 50% here in Wenatchee. We'll keep with about a 50% chance of rain on Thursday and 61. Kind of our quiet day on Friday with just some clouds and 59, and then more rain showers as we move into this weekend. 56 for Saturday and 60 degrees, your high on Sunday. Closing out our newscast today, it's a hard life to be a baby. Sometimes you just have to kick back and let your worries slip away. And that video came to us from one of our producers, Caitlin Hedersheet, featuring her 5-month-old niece, Junie Walker. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email, and that email is news@ncwlife.com, or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, make sure you tune in to NCW Life Channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and all the latest news with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life Channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life Channel on Twitter.
Hey everyone, Frank Ferrari here at Frank's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Today's deal is F-150 under 300,000 miles. Yesterday, $55.95. Today, it's only $213. At this price, this thing won't last long. Hurry on down to Frank Ferrari's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Right, Fred? Forget about Frank. Here at Town Nissan, we're fun, we're fair, and we're fabulous. Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Pets are not your whole life, but they do make your life whole. At Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital, not only do they understand that fact, they live it every day. Dr. Baez and her staff at Paws and Claws love dogs and cats so much they've dedicated their lives to the well-being of our four-legged friends. They offer compassionate care with a personal touch. Paws and Claws Veterinary Hospital on the corner of 4th and Nile in East Wenatchee, or call 888-PAWS.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.